everyone, my name is Rachel Williams. I'm the 4-H program leader with Seneca County Cornell Cooperative Extension, and I'm really excited to be with you here today to share a lesson, an activity that often our Seneca Green teens may do with youth and adults from across the county and sometimes across the state. And before we get started, I do have to ask you a couple of questions. So, how many of you recycle at home? If you do, raise your hand. Great. And if you're a student, how many of you recycle at school? If you do, please raise your hand. Good to see and good to hear. And if you are someone who works outside of the home, usually, maybe not right now, but usually, when you are at your place of employment, how many of you recycle at work? If you do, please raise your hand. That's great. So nice to know that so many people recycle and hopefully are also first reducing and reusing. But if you don't or aren't quite sure what to recycle or what to reduce or what to reuse, we're going to talk about that today. Particularly today, like I said before, we're going to talk about reducing, reusing, and recycling. So I have quite a few different sorting stations back here behind me. Before we do that though, I just want to make sure that everybody knows what recycles. So at Seneca County Cornell Cooperative Extension, I mentioned that we actually have a group, a club, where teens can be teachers about recycling, reusing, reducing, and also sustainable energy. And that is called Seneca Green. So you could get involved with that group if you are in 7th grade or up. If there's adults that are interested in helping out with this group, we definitely could seek some more volunteers also. That group actually helps reinforce and support our efforts to do recycling education in the county. We are fortunate to be the recycle educators for Seneca County, and we have a number of different things that we have going on to help us with that. We have a website, www.senecarecycles.org, where really everything you need to know about recycling can be found for the county and beyond. We have actually some great resources. We have a fabulous magnet that we give out at a number of events and localities around, and they're also available at our office when it's open. And this magnet actually tells you what recycles in different places. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then we also have a beautiful table or chart that gives you everything you need to know about recycling. So just to make sure everybody knows, glass recycles. Newspapers, magazines, paper in general recycles. Metal, aluminum cans, foil, things like that recycle. All these things recycle in your blue bin, which you can have 8 of at your home, or you can have gallon toters. Plastic, anything that's plastic that has a number 1 through 7 on the bottom of it or on its container, usually associated with a triangle, recycles. Now, if it's styrofoam, it does not recycle here in Seneca County. So even if it has that symbol, that triangle, and one of those numbers, it still doesn't recycle here in Seneca County. Corrugated cardboard, so your cardboard boxes, they need to be broken down and they can go right in your blue bin. Box board. So box board is a little bit thinner than cardboard, but heavier than paper. So it's like your cereal boxes. Those can go in your blue bin. And then any other paper, office paper, junk mail, things like that, they can all go in your blue bin. Even if they're colored or if they're shiny, they can still go in your blue bin. And then gable top containers, which I'll show you, but that's like an orange juice container, red juice container. So it has that, kind of looks like a roof. They also. So let's try a sorting activity now. So you'll see behind me here, I have a can, a small can that says trash. Next to it, I have a bowl that says compost. Next to that, I have a blue bin, hopefully you recognize this, that says recycle. And then I have a reusable grocery bag that says return to store. So what happened was I actually was outside, I went for a little walk, and I found this big bag of garbage, or what people might think is garbage. So I thought, you know what? I took a peek and I was like, a lot of this does not need to go in the trash. And I would rather try to not do that with it. So I found in there some plastic. some plastic wraps, napkin holders, napkin wrapper, water bottle wrapper, bread wrapper, grocery bag, plastic grocery bag, I should say, and a Ziploc, clean and dry. So actually, these plastic items, anything like this, can be recycled. It cannot go in my blue bin though. I do have the chance though to take it back to the store and deposit it right at the store. So I'm really lucky to have that opportunity, and it will get recycled and turned into something new. I took a little bit more look in here, and oh my goodness, there's a lot of plastic in here. I found a plastic milk jug, and that has a triangle with the number 2 inside of it. So I know that I can recycle, right? I remember that. And then I found another plastic container with a number 5 on the bottom inside the triangle. I found out 1 through 7 numbers they can recycle. Now, I have to tell you, some of those things I might be able to reuse. So the plastic milk jug, I might be able to turn into a fun arts and craft project, maybe a bird feeder even. And the container, I might be able to recycle. This is a perfect example of a reuse container. So this container has a number 5 on the bottom inside the triangle, but I'm able to clean this up and I can reuse this over and over again to store my food in. That's pretty exciting. Once I'm all done with it, once it's not in good shape any longer, I would then recycle it in my blue bin though. Let's see, what else? Oh my goodness, there's so many things in this. Oh, I remember that we talked about how corrugated cardboard could be recycled. Now, pizza boxes are one of these. And if they're pretty clean inside, they sure can go in your recycle bin. That's awesome. Let's see, what else? Oh, I know, didn't we say all glass recycles? So I'm pretty excited. I've got some glass containers that I can recycle. They're gonna go in my blue bin as well. Filling it right up. And then I remember that I heard when we talked a minute ago about what can recycle, that aluminum cans can recycle. So I have an aluminum can, and that aluminum foil, clean and dry, can recycle. So pretty excited. I can put that in my blue bin. And then, oh yes, we did say gable top containers. So a container like this, an orange juice or juice container that has a little, what sort of roof on it? Gable top container. I can recycle this in my blue bin. It's all cleaned out and dry, good to go. I think we said box board can recycle. It sure can. So I might be able to do some reuse craft projects with my box board, as I could with maybe some of those other things that I put in a recycle bin. If I'm not going to, I can definitely recycle. Look at that. Even a McDonald's French fry container or wrapper in my blue bin. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, an egg carton, not a styrofoam one, but one made of compostable material. These are awesome. I could totally reuse this to start some seeds if I wanted to. They're perfect for that. I could also use it for some arts and crafts projects or storing some things. I have some friends who've chosen to decorate these and turn them into maybe a jewelry storage, bead storage, something of the sort. Once I'm all done with this and it's really not in that great a shape, I can kind of tear it up a little bit and it can go right in my compost. That's a perfect thing to put in with your compost. It'll break down so nicely. Help with that piling up. Let's see. Oh, I did find a couple things in my bag that I know I have to put in the trash can. Remember, we just said that styrofoam does not recycle in Seneca County. And even though I see a triangle on the bottom, I know that in Seneca County, I do have to put my styrofoam in my trash can. So you know what? Now that I know that, I just am really gonna try to avoid using styrofoam. If I have the choice, if I'm picking the material to use, I'm not going to use styrofoam. Let's see, oh, I know, we said paper, right? So paper can definitely recycle. It can also be reused if it's blank on one side. And there's so many things, my goodness. Newspaper can be used to cover a space to do some messy work, do an arts and crafts project, do some gardening, things of sorts. I can use this also for bedding for animals if it's not shiny and if it's less of a colored product. So that's really nice. Just shred it up and use it for bedding. A lot of these things also can compost. So it really depends on the material. So you have that option, compost or recycle your paper. Oh, another box board item, a paper towel tube. One of my coworkers just recently did a great activity with paper towel and toilet paper tubes where it also can be used for seed starting. So that would be a great reuse option for paper towel or toilet paper tubes. Also, we could rip it up a bit, put it in our compost, or we could put it in the blue bin to recycle because it's box board. So glad that I'm not putting very much in my trash can. So I did see that there are some other things that we could return to a store. So we have aluminum cans with a 5-cent deposit. I'm gonna take that back to my store with my plastics and I'm gonna get my money back for that one. And a plastic water bottle with a 5-cent return. I'm also going to take that back to my store. I'm gonna put that right in there with my items that go back to my store when I take my reusable grocery bag to my store to do my shopping. So the paper towel, not in bad shape, nothing bad happened to it, just somebody happened to use a paper towel instead of a cloth to maybe dry their hands, dry their dishes, whatever. So the thing about this paper towel is it could go in the trash, but it doesn't need to. It could go in the compost as well. And it cannot go in our blue bin. So you know what I'm gonna do? Why don't I reuse it? Turn it into something else. Break it down for the garden, help things grow. I'm gonna put it right in my compost. Last thing I found in my garbage bag, a plastic straw. So I could wash this over and over again and reuse it till it isn't usable any longer. I could wash it and reuse it for maybe a craft project, some sort of fun activity with my kids. When it's not usable anymore though, I will not be able to put it in my blue bin. I will not be able to compost it. I will actually have to throw a plastic straw into the trash because this sort of plastic is too small to go through the equipment, the machines that are used for recycling at recycling facilities. So unfortunately, I had to put that in my trash. But I only have 3 things in my trash can. Everything else has ended up in my compost, my blue bin for recycling, or my reusable grocery bag to take back to the store. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you are too. We've really helped prevent things from going into the landfill, prevented things from going into the trash, and figure out ways to reuse them by recycling, by reducing. And so one way we can reduce as well as use our recycling and our reuse efforts is to just use less, right? So reuse items like reuse real dishes, real silverware. So instead of plastic silverware, paper dishes, things like that, where we use them over and over again. That will help reduce, as well as buying things in bulk quantities. So let's just review and see how we did. Kind of as a takeaway, how many of you will continue to recycle at home or start recycling more at home, start reducing more, start reusing more at home? If that's the case for you, raise your hand. Great. And at school, how many of you will continue to recycle? And if you're not recycling yet, maybe you can talk to your teachers, maybe you can talk to your principal, maybe you can talk to your superintendent about how you can recycle more, reduce in school, and reuse in school. If you'd like to be a part of that effort, that action, raise your hand. Great. And at the workplace, outside of the home, when you're back to it, or if you are there right now, how many of you think that you might try to continue to recycle or recycle, reduce, and reuse more? You could definitely, I'm sure, talk to your supervisor, your employer about that. I'm sure they'd be excited to hear about opportunities to help our planet by reducing, reusing, and recycling. If that's the case for you, raise your hand. Great. So for more information about recycling efforts in Seneca County, please visit us at www.senecarecycles.org, or you can contact us at our office, Seneca County Cornell Cooperative Extension, located on Main Street in Waterloo. We serve the whole county and we'll be very happy to help you with your reducing, reusing, and recycling efforts. Have a great day.